very much. Ah, thank you. The greatest festa people ever created, huh? The greatest festa. Thornton festa, number 1. Hey, Gilmar, maybe like number 3. Hey, maybe someday you have 2 bullfights like Thornton. One on Saturday, one on Monday. You know, just in case the one on Saturday sucks, you have one on Monday. Wow, look at this tent, huh? This tent has a lot of history, you know. Not long ago, before the church was built, they used to do mass and then serve sopas in here right after. I'm over here trying to remember what used to make me fall asleep faster, church or the sopas. I asked my American friend the other day, hey, my friend, you ever been to Hillmont Festa? He asked me, oh, you mean the one inside the big Red Cross disaster relief tent? I said, yes, that's the one. He said, yes, when I leave that place, they have to get me shot up in a cell. But anyways, enough of the jokes. I know everybody here to hear my presidential speech for the elections of 2020. And I always give what the people want, okay? Very, very important. I'm going to start now. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. I want to start off by introducing myself for those that don't know me too good. My name is Manuel Dujan Souza VW. And I made for run for president of the United States of America in the 2020 election. Thank you. As you can see, I have a little bit of accent in my voice. I'm 100 Portuguese, and I'm born in the age of... well, everybody knows you have to be born in the United States for be president. Hey, but no worries, everybody. I born here when I'm 15 years old. You ever hear of born again Christians? I'm born again American. Okay, we're all clear. We know this now. I make for run for president because it's it's Americans like me that make good presidents. I know you think right now, hey man, this guy don't even know how to talk too good. But if President Trump can do it, I can do it too. Hey Manuel, what are you gonna do for our country? Every president want to fix this or fix that. But they all miss the most important things that need to be fixed. For example, women's rights, the color of the White House, and most importantly, the climate changes. Number 1, women's rights. I know you all think what I'm thinking right now. The women in this country have too many rights. If that, they say, oh, I want this. Oh, I want that. Hey, shut up, Maria, make me no capra. I remember many years ago, women's work in the kitchen, take care of the kids, and did everything their husbands tell them to. But now, now they have jobs, they don't make no food, they don't have no kids, and they have to give their husbands permission when they can go hang out with their friends. Excuse me, I didn't know I married my mother. I don't know about you, but I don't like this too much. I don't know if any of you ever watch my videos, but me and my Maria, hey, we're not together no more. Because of these things. I know Jesus don't like this too much, but hey, The Jews can't vote for me in the election, so I have another case. Number two, the color of the White House is so boring. Epa, who designed the White House and made for it to be so plain like that? The first thing I do if I become president is bring back that guy, Ty Pennington from Extreme Home Makeover. I make him say, "Move that camionette!" Then the bus moves, and there you go. Bright yellow house with beige gutters, Portuguese flag, and right below the American flag. That's what I'm talking about, okay? Did you know, right now, it costs the American taxpayers $6 million for landscape the White House? $6 million? You could build a Leiteria with that kind of money. $6 million to mow the grass? You gotta make forgive me. If I become president, I put 50 goats and vacas on the front yard, and we never paid $1 more to cut the grass. This also good, because if anybody from another country make me mad during a meeting inside the Yellow House, I tell him to walk out the front door. Well, he will have to try to not step in the cow poop outside. It would be like called landmines, but we will change the name and call them Vaca Caca. Number three, the climate's change. É triste. The world has warmed 1.4 degrees since 1880. I know 1.4 no sound like too much, but think of this. Change the 1.4 degrees into inches. Well, I think we can all agree 1.4 inches is gonna make a big difference. I know I can use 1.4. So to help with the climate changes, we are going to get rid of all the cars in the United States. From now on, we are going to have to ride books, like the old times in the China. You might ask me now, "Hey Manuel, where am I supposed to find a book over here?" Well, for people of Gilmar, all you have to do is go to Casa Sur on any weeknight of the week. There are plenty of books over there to choose from. You all left because you know it's true. And some of you are in here right now. I promise you all of this if you make for vote for me for President of the United States of America. I've been thinking a lot on possible peoples that I can put in my closet. Cabinet, sorry. In the cabinet, the president's cabinet. If I become president. I think it's only right to start choosing people from this area because Ilmar is the best. Oh, não há palmas para Ilmar aqui. Leroy and Arlene Vieira. I know you guys did a great job with the fashion this year. So if I become president, I'm gonna make Leroy Vieira the vice president because we all know that Leroy loves speaking to the public, so that would be perfect for him. Okay. And Arlene will be my first lady. That's how it works, right? I'm not with my Maria no more. I need somebody. Anyways, Manuel and Gina Rosa, who are this year's vice presidents, I'm thinking of where I can use you in my cabinet. But then I remember, there can only be one Manuel in the White House, so you guys are out. Inês and Anton Vieira are this year's secretaries. I think a president should have a sexy, easy on the eyes people to be secretary. That's why I think Antonio Vieira would be my perfect Secretary of State. I think dealing with money is very, very difficult job. You are constantly tempted to steal money that you have in your hands day in and day out. For this reason, Mary Xavier gonna be my Secretary of the Treasury because I know if she steals some of that money, she's gonna give me some too. I've also decided that if I become President of the United States of America, I'm going to implement some new cabinet positions for the first time in U.S. history. Number 1, Secretary of Miracles, Lanyo Pajeda. He don't understand this, so I can say it. After being here on Thursday nights for the comedians, I noticed that we cannot hear the first act was on stage. No microphones, no speakers, nothing worked. But after when you get on stage, everything worked perfect. That was a miracle. I hope he accepts my invitation for this. Number 2, Secretary of Agriculture. Did I say that right? Manuel Vieira, o rei da batata doce. It's truly amazing how much he grew his company, and unbelievable how many different places he grows his batatas. The other day, I went fishing in the middle of the ocean. Batatas growing up there too. It's crazy, man. But I think he's gonna name these batatas different. They're gonna be called batatas salgadas. Which is salty potatoes for the white people in the back. Hey, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. You can be out there fishing, get some bacalhau. You got the batatas right there, right next to them. Hey, perfect day to have Maria's house. And last but not least, number 3, Lieutenant General of Bullfights, Zé Manuel Martins. Where is he? Is he not here? Yes, baby, right there. Bullfights here in California are too expensive. That's why many festivals don't do bullfights no more. Well, me, Manuel, love bullfights. So I will have Lieutenant General Zé Manuel Martins divert taxes from the American people to make bullfights in California mais ou menos again. With all of this, I know that I can be the best Portuguese-American president this United States of America will ever see, even better than Barack Obama. Thank you. Vote for me so we can make America mais ou menos again. Thank you. Thank you. I love all of you too much. Thank you.
Let's give another round of applause for Justin Rocha. Oh, Manal, sorry. Next up, we have a comedian from San Jose. He has traveled with the Portuguese kids regularly, toured with them. Let's give a round of applause for Taylor Amarante.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give Manuel one more big Portuguese round of applause. I'm definitely going to vote for that guy pretty soon. How are we doing tonight, Hilmar? I heard they canceled your parade. Are you guys upset? No, you're not. Nobody wants to carry the flags. Come on. Who was going to carry the sentings? Your guys' shoulders are fine. Fantastic. Hilmar, it's great to be here. My name is Taylor Amarante. I am the son. Thank you, Mom. Thank you. Good to see you. I could have got you a better seat. Sorry, Mom. My name is Taylor Amarante. I am the son of Portuguese immigrants from the island of São Jorge. Yeah? Make some noise if you're from São Jorge. Come on. What about Terceira? Oh my goodness. Who's watching the bullfights if everybody's here? What the hell? What about São Miguel? Everybody's always like, São Miguel. They speak French, you know. Parlez-vous français? Oh. What about, you know what? It's funny because every time I don't mention the name of an island, somebody Facebook messages me who was at the show from Flores. Like, why you not mention Flores? So is anybody here from Flores? See that? She would have sent me the message. Fantastic. Peak. The drunkest people here. Corv? Really? Who's watching the lighthouse? 2 of you are here, there's 4 people left. All right, let's move on. Anyway, my name is Taylor Amarante, guys. You might not think Taylor's the most Portuguese name in the world, but if you can see my eyebrows from where you're sitting, you can tell I'm the son of a Portuguese person. I look like Angry Birds up here. Look at this thing. Even the people standing in the back can tell what mood I'm in from 100 yards away. They're like, he looks pissed. My grandfather used to tell me I should hang sheetrock because I could nail the sheetrock and all the dust would fall right here. And I could just dust it off when I was done for the day. Anyway, I've been doing comedy for a few years, traveling with the Portuguese kids. Let's give it up for the Portuguese kids, guys. They're killing it. They're killing it, man. Their Facebook videos, man, they're amazing, these guys. I've been able to travel around East Coast, Canada, all over California. These guys are amazing. The crowds they pull are incredible. And it's nice to have a group like that bring the Portuguese community together. But recently we were on tour in Canada, or as the Portuguese call it, Canada, right? We were up there in Canada. Portuguese Canadians, guys, they're just like Portuguese Americans. Only they're polite. It's amazing. I know what you're thinking. Yes, even the people from São Miguel there. They're really nice. And they're really excited right now because they're the NBA champions, right? Ooh, in Toronto. We were in Toronto. Basically, that city hasn't won a championship in 25 years. So that means it's been since 1993 that these guys have had a parade that didn't include the Nossa Senhora de Fatima statue. They finally got a parade. But the cool thing about being up there, guys, is after every show is done in Toronto or in Canada, the same thing always happens. It never fails. We finish, we wrap up, the Portuguese kids mingle with some of the attendees, but there's always one guy who comes up to me and wants to know if I know his only primo who lives in the USA. It never fails. They're the nicest people, but they come up and they're like, oh, rapaz, hey, good job, rapaz. Good job. You're from Estados Unidos, no? And I'm like, yeah, California. He's like, oh, maybe you know my primo, João Silva. He pours concrete. I'm like, where's he from? He's like, New York. He's like, New York, you know, João Silva. Silva concrete. If it's not gold, it's silver. I'm like, man, that's pretty catchy, man. I'm like, yeah, I know that guy. He's like, oh yeah? I'm like, no, I don't know that guy. Because guess what, man? America is huge. Okay, you in Toronto are closer to Ponta Delgada than I am in California to New York. And he's like, não pode ser. And I'm like, yeah, it's true. And do you know how many João Silvas live in the United States of America? I have 3 João Silvas on my street alone. I have João Silva with the fruit trees. I have João never says hello back Silva. And I have Antigamente João Silva, who starts every conversation he has with me with the words, Antigamente. All 3 João Silvas, all 3 probably poured concrete in their life. None of them, that guy's primo from New York, poor guy. But he's always bummed out, man, right? And then after that's done, if we're done playing the Do You Know My Primo game, these Canadians want to ask me about Donald Trump. And they come up to me and they want to ask me like, hey rapaz, hey, you Donald Trump, huh? No good? Huh? Good? No good? What do you think? And then they stand back, right? They want to know what I think, but I don't jump into that trap. I'm like, listen, the last thing I need is an RTP camera filming me saying something bad about Donald Trump. He watches a lot of TV, the chances are he's gonna catch my ass. I don't need that kind of drama. He'll be tweeting me like, oh, Taylor Amarante, you're so funny. Not. You can't really reply to that. Nobody knows me and everybody knows Donald Trump. Anyway, guys, so how we doing tonight, man? We here for the festa, we feeling good? Clap your hands if you came with family. Everybody from Corp. Clap your hands if you came with your friends. Oh, we got a little group of amigas over there? Nice. Dia de Amigas? Are you guys out on the town like it's Dia de Amigas tonight? Do we all know what Dia de Amigas is? Dia de Amigas is like Portuguese people's version of girls' night out. Right? And Dia de Amigos is guys' night out, right? And Portuguese people, they love this shit. The women go crazy. I can remember growing up and once a year, there'd be freshly baked pies and cookies on my table. And I'd reach for one and my mom would be like, don't touch that. That's for Dia de Amigas. And I grew up like, Dia de Amigas, what is that? I was like, what is that? It sounds so important, right? A bunch of Portuguese women in one room. The storylines that can come from that, right? I thought to myself, Dia de Amigas, it sounds like it could be the title of the next Portuguese reality TV show, right? Tonight, on an all-new episode of Dia de Amigas. A room full of friends who are not really friends. Who will stay, who will go home tonight on Dia de Amigas. Tune in next week as the ladies struggle over the seating chart. All of a sudden he goes to them at a chalkboard. Okay, Maria, she has to be close to the buffet because she has a bad hip. But she doesn't like Mafalda. Mafalda doesn't like Francisca. Francisca can't sit next to Conceição. Conceição needs to be close to the window because she gets hot. But her sister Fatinha needs to be far from the window because she gets cold. Dia de Amigas. I'm recording that shit right there. Growing up, people, the way they explained Dia de Amigas to me, I thought it was like this crazy, sexier version of Girls' Night Out at the Portuguese Hall. I thought it was like, psh, you're with your girls, you're in the limousine, you go to the hall, you're in Hilmar, psh, you pop out, you see the line, you don't wait in the line, you skip it. You wink at the doorman, he nods back, Dia de Amigas. You get a stamp, you look at the stamp, it's a picture of you and your amigas. You're like, what? What the hell? Dia de Amigas. You walk in, all of a sudden it's red lights, confetti, bubbles everywhere. The beat drops. Boots, 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 boots. Amigas. Boots, 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 boots. You walk in, there's a bunch of dudes roller skating around wearing nothing but a bow tie and cuecas, carrying around K. St. George. Boots, boots, gyrating to the beat. Boots, 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 boots. Amigas. Somebody hands you a cocktail, you go to the VIP, someone's waiting for you. His name, Cristiano Ronaldo. He wants to play one-on-one. Amigas. That's what I thought it was. I thought it was like a strip club with good cheese. It's like, man, Dia de Amigas, that's something. But the thing about, a scenario like that, a strip club, right? You don't have a lot of Portuguese strippers, right? But what would a Portuguese strip club in the Azores be like, right? Let's think about this for a second. Here, when you go to a strip club, you go there, they change the girl's name. They're like, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Bambi. You're like, that girl's name's not Bambi. That's Veronica from across the street. I know exactly who that is. But there, if you're in the Azores, the islands are so small, do they even change their names? Even though they're the girl from the Freguesia, one Freguesia over? It's like, senhoras e senhores, put your hands together for Maria de Silveira Matos. And how do they tip them over there, right? Here it's with $1 bills. €1 is a coin. Like, are they throwing coins at these girls? Like, come on. I don't think there's a Coinstar machine on the island. That's rough. But the reason there's no Portuguese strippers is because Portuguese kids get spanked. Right? Make some noise if you got spanked growing up. Right? And it made us better people, right? We're better people because we got spanked. But now I have 5 nieces and nephews, as of last week, 5. A little 5-piece chicken nuggets. Between the ages of 1, well, now 2 weeks, 1 and 4. 5 of them. So I'm out there with them now, guys. I'm at the playground. I'm at the pumpkin patch. I'm being a good to you. I'm doing my uncle thing, my pudding thing, right? But I'm out there and I notice there's a lot of shitty kids in the world. I'm watching mine, they look great, but you look around, man, there's a lot of shitty kids out there. And it's because the non-Portuguese parents have moved away from spanking their kids. Portuguese parents, we still spank our kids, right? Portuguese parents are like the Tom Brady of the spanking game, right? Still doing it after all these years, right? Still accurate, still winning, right? But last week I was online and I saw an article and it said, the era of spanking is over. I thought to myself, is the era of pissing off your parents over? Like, how is... And then I read, okay, I'm gonna click it and read. And I read it. And you know the people they interviewed? It was like Karen, age 35 from South Dakota. Brittany, age 30, Phoenix. All right, guys, PG&E told us this is the end, so... They turned off all your power at home. We invited you here. It was a plan. But now they're shutting us down. At least this fire inside of a tent is still working. Look at this. If this thing goes up in flames, everybody's in big trouble. I'm surprised there's no pig hanging above that thing. Turn this into a matanza real quick. Who wants to turn this into a matanza? But anyway, with these kids, man, I was reading this article and it's all these mid-30s white women married to these tech guys. I didn't see one person interviewed named Manuela from Hillmar or Maria Josefina from New Bedford. I didn't see it. Growing up, man, my Portuguese cousins would come babysit me and they would bring over movies like The Predator, right? They would bring over movies like Bloodsport, movies like Jaws, right? Nowadays, the closest thing to Jaws that these kids are listening to is this. Baby Shark, you know the words, guys, clap along. Do, 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 do. These are our kids now, guys. They're teaching you to like sharks. You're gonna take your family to Cabo one day, and he's gonna wanna swim with sharks. Things they say. Please, man. Growing up, we were taught to be tough because our parents spanked us. They took care of us, right? Well, there was no safe space. Kids these days want a safe space. Church, when I was a kid, wasn't even a safe space. I got so many chapadas at the igreja, man. My brother and I were like, oh man, we're in here, we could mess around today. We'd be messing around, you know what we would do? The Portuguese choir would be singing. And you know how when you go to Portuguese mass, there's all those people in the choir, right? Because they're good at singing. But then everybody else attending mass wants to sing as if they belong in the choir. Ave, Ave, you know, Ave Maria. We were little boys, we get freaked out by that. So we would make fun. All of a sudden though, my dad would stop the blood flow from our neck to our legs by the Portuguese neck squeeze. He would lift us both off the ground like 2 fish he just caught in Half Moon Bay. We'd be dangling right there. We'd be like, Dad, you can't hit us in church. He'd be like, well, I'll ask for forgiveness on the way out. Ask for forgiveness on the way out. Even the priest knew what was happening, but he was cool with it. High-five my dad on the way out. Like, hey, pouco barulho, rapazinho. And he was always Brazilian. Bom dia. Bom dia. Jesus Cristo. My dad, man, he liked spanking us. It turned into a game for him, right? He had 3 kids. All of these kids 3 years apart. The chances that somebody messed up that day were very high. He would come home from work excited. He'd come through the door like this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lino. He had a tough day at work today, and he's gonna take it out on one of our next 3 contestants. On tonight's episode of That's my Chapada. Contestant number 1 is Lino's oldest son, Jason. Today, he skipped 6th period Spanish to go and hang out with some friends at the park. Contestant number 2 is his daughter, Crystal. Today, she lied about who she's going to the movies with on Saturday. And last but not least is Taylor, his youngest son, who got in trouble today for telling a teacher to button her butt. Let's see who wins today on this episode of That's My Chapada. Was anybody here a contestant on That's My Chapada? Come on. Oh, man. How many of you guys are going to the Azores this summer? Wow, tough times in Hillmark. Check it out. Tough times. The wind is going to take the tents, going to take your jobs, all your money. You can't go. You can't go. Why can't you guys go? What's going on here? 7 people raised their hands. SATA. Oh. Hey, make some noise if you know about SATA. SATA, sitting at the airport. SATA, man. Hey, they're good airlines, right? When the plane shows up. You're in your destination, you get a text message. Hey, today's Tuesday, now we're leaving Friday at noon. Good luck with lodging and food. We'll see you Friday. Here in Terceira, 3 days after the festa has ended, it's not fun to wait for SATA, right? But SATA, man, the funny thing about SATA is when you go on these flights, there's always the same group of characters on the SATA flights, right? You got your families, your young couple, 2 kids, right? Little kids are running around, picking their boogers, flicking them everywhere. You can't say anything because you know they're pies, right? They always have an in-law dressed head to toe in black, old lady, super nervosa, like this in the terminal. This might be my last flight. I'm like, wait a minute, this might be your last flight? Like, why? Because you're gonna die on the plane or we're all gonna die? Don't say things like that. You better get on those rosary beads. You better start PFES and Pai Filho Espírito Santo. It's the PFES, Pai Filho Espírito Santo. That lady made me nervous, right? So you got the families. But then you got the young couples too, though. Like, we live in America, guys, and now it's tougher to get the 100% Portuguese couples, right? Sometimes you get the Portuguese boyfriend with the non-Portuguese girlfriend. Or the Portuguese girlfriend with the non-Portuguese boyfriend. Do we have any of those couples in here tonight? Oh, wow, we're not doing that then, huh? We're keeping it. This trip is called the I Love You, but Do You Love the Azores trip, right? And you got about 9 or 10 hours to tell them what's going on, because when those non-Portuguese people get to the Azores, there's going to be a grand surprise, right? But you get in these planes, it's always so hard to get seated because everybody in SATA knows everybody else in SATA. It's like a festa in the sky, man. You get in there, you're trying to sit down, you got to introduce people. Hey, Manuel, tudo bem? Manuel, Maria, Maria, Manuel. Manuel, Maria, João, Maria, João, Manuel. Manuel, Maria, Maria, João, Maria, Antônio. Oh, Maria, Maria, Antônio, João. Oxalá que isso vai ser good flight, huh? Os azuis take good care of us today. Portuguese people always think because you're flying, you're close to Jesus, he's going to take good care of you. Right? When it's actually probably easier for him to just meet his quota for the day and grab that plane right out of the sky, right? But these people are saying hello to each other, right? They all finally get seated. They're in SATA. You're in SATA. What happens next? The pilot comes on to welcome you, right? And he's got that real slick pilot voice. You know, he comes on with that, Senhoras e senhores passageiros, bem-vindo a bordo SATA Internacional. Por favor, preste a sua atenção às informações e ilustrações que seguem. Right away, my boss was like, oh, the pilot sounds nice. Ooh, pilot sounds nice. I don't even like the word pilot. I'm gonna be honest. It's 1 letter away from like sexual assault, dude. Pilot sounds way too much like pinot. Let's be honest. She's like, oh, he sounds nice. I'm like, okay. And if they haven't impressed her enough, that same pilot comes on. This time, in that really sexy telenovela English, right? where they sound like they might steal your wife or girlfriend right off of Sata. They add a bunch of S's on words where they don't belong to sound like sexier, right? They come on. Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, passengers, good mornings. And welcome aboard Sata International. Please pay your attention to the following informations and illustrations about the flights. Thank you for flying Sata. Boom. Right away, my boss was like, oh, eu falo English. Oh, that's so nice. Eu falo English. I'm like, really? You've been telling me to speak as much Portuguese as I can for 30 years. Now, eu falo English. I'm like, Yvonne, if you're flying an aluminum tube around planet Earth, you better follow little bit English. Because there's going to be a time where that Portuguese pilot is flying right at another plane, puts on the headset, he's like, boom, falas português. And the other pilot's like, boom, no, but do you speak English? Boom, okay. Things might have worked out if you follow a little bit English. But then you're up there, you're in the sky, man, everybody's getting settled. Everybody's hanging out in the plane, right? Everybody's playing Sweka in the aisles, right? Everyone's who's got the higher truth, right? Everyone's drinking wine and tasting cheese like they're at Costco on a Sunday. Portuguese people are just like, oh, how much cheese can I eat in this flight? There's always that guy who leans over your seat to yell at the guy in 13B, Ô, João! Então, a girafesta? Oh, she's gonna sleep all day. Okay. And you're like, dude, get off my hair, man. He's going to the festa. Your wife's gonna sleep all day. You're gonna sleep on the couch because you said that, so. But they're in there, man, and then what happens, right? The pilot comes on, and he wants to introduce himself. Because we need to know this Portuguese pilot's first, middle, and last name. Because Portuguese people have like 7 names. He comes on. Boom, senhoras e senhores passageiros. This is your captain, Mario Luís Silva Simas Silveira. And flying with me tonight is my co-pilot, Leonardo Emanuel de Jesus. Thank you for flying. Boom. Right away, my avó is so pumped somebody named Jesus is flying the plane. Oh, eu agora estou mais calma. O Jesus está flying the plane. If something happened to the flight, and the news talk about the flight, o Jesus é que levou nós. Graças a Deus. So you're on the flight, right? Then you're almost to the Azores. They always come on to welcome you before you land safely, which is always crazy. But they come on and they're like, boom, ladies and gentlemen, passengers, we are 500 miles west of Lajes International Airfield, where the weather is 72 degrees Fahrenheit with little to no wind. Thank you for flying Sata. Boom. Right away, I'm like, wait a minute. When have I ever been in the Azores and there's little to no wind? I sometimes wish these guys would come on and be brutally honest with us, right? Come on. Like there's turbulence down there. Boom. I'm like, wait a minute. I heard a foda right there. There's turbulence all of a sudden. Instead of air masks coming down, rosaries are coming down on everybody. People in South, they're like, pray for yourself, then pray for the child. Bye for the pizza. No, I'm just kidding. I hope that never happens because those people are getting us to the Azores safely, and we love the Azores, right, guys? Make some noise if you love those islands. They're beautiful. So we want to make sure we get there, and then secondly, if that did happen, all of us would shit our cuecas, right? You know we would. You know what? Make some noise if you've pooped your cuecas as a human, as an adult. How about that? Yeah? You guys are being shy because studies say 1 in every 3 grown adults has pooped their cuecas as an adult. So let's have a little fun here, right? Okay, 1, 2, 3. One of you 3, shit your cuecas. 1, 2. He's laughing hard. It was him. 1, 2, 3. One of you 3, shit your cuecas. She's like, yeah, it's me, man, and it's you too. I remember that story. Oh, yeah, it was your wedding day. Hey, sure. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We can do this all day. Cuecas is the funniest word in the Portuguese language, right? Come on, let's all say it together on 3. 1, 2, 3. That's right, guys. Somebody's shitting their cuecas tonight. Might be this dude right here. I hope they're not white. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about pooping your cuecas is most of the times you can get away with it. right? Unless you have a Portuguese mother who writes your first and last name on everything you own. Your lunch pail, your binder, your jacket, all the way down to your cuecas. On the tag, first and last name. Now, as a kid growing up, that wasn't troublesome. Because as a kid, you're not leaving your cuecas anywhere. Like, most of the time, if you are, it's at home, somewhere on the ground. As an adult, right, as a grown man, you might leave your cuecas in a couple of places, you know what I mean? Ah, bucketing, dude, this guy, bucketing. But I have a story about a time where that went wrong. Really seriously wrong. I was a 4th grader, old enough to know not to shit your cuecas. And I was at school, and we'd had a lot of called veerd that week. A lot of called veerd. Do you guys like called veerd? Right? It's like the funnest soup to eat because you're eating and then you find a piece of linguiça, right? Right? You're like, oh, linguiça. Oh, tem duas. Oh. It's like finding a prize in a Cracker Jack box. Oh, duas, hey, today's my day. Today's my day. But I had a lot of called veerd that week, guys. And I'm in class. And I'm taking a test. And I'm having that test, and all of a sudden, my stomach makes a weird sound. A little Jurassic Park sound. I get a little sense of sound. And I'm like, oh, whoa, whoa. You know how you try to like go, oh. You do this like this is like a medical thing. Right, you keep going. 5 minutes later. It goes that second. When it goes to the second though, it's like, whoa, okay, whoa. I go up, I tell the teacher. He's like, nice try, Taylor, go back to your seat. I go, okay, I go back to my seat. A little while later, here comes that senseless sound again, man. And I go, you know what? I'm gonna try to do that thing everybody tries to do. I'm gonna try to fart it out. I'm gonna try to fart it out, right? I'm taking a test, I need these grades. He doesn't want to work with me, I'm gonna fart it out. You try to squeeze it out where it makes that same sound a dolphin makes, right? It's like, right? Like when you take a balloon and you go like this. It's like, all of a sudden though, it's like, and then something happens. Something happens. I don't know how many of you guys had beef honest tonight. I'm gonna spare you the details. Something happens. I go, oh. You always question, am I this freaking dumb? I get up. I think he knew by the way I walked to him. I walked to him like this. You ever seen this thing? I walked to him like that and I go, I need to go to the bathroom now. He's like, go. I run out of that class. I run to the bathroom. I do this thing, right? Like this matters now, right? This doesn't matter now. What are you doing? I get to the bathroom and I do that thing that everybody who's crapped their pants has done in their life. First of all, you look around, make sure nobody's in there. Then you take off your pants to see if the kokosh went from your cuecas to your pants. There's a lady up here who's crapped her pants 10 times. She can't stop laughing. Good God. You are... Somebody get a pooper scooper, man. She's in front of the yellow rope. God help this woman. Santa Maria Meng de Deus, dude. Poor thing. We'll get back to that. I could so pick on you. I'm gonna let it slide. Poor thing. You've been through enough. You've been through a lot of shit, you know what I mean? So you do that thing where you're in the bathroom, you look, right? I'm pulling down my cuecas. It's a moment of pride. And I look back and I realize the kokosh didn't go through the cuecas to the jeans. I'm like, oh my God. I take off my cuecas, right? I Steph Curry the cuecas into the garbage can, right? Just cuecas in the can. I put paper towels over the cuecas. I limp up my coo. I take a look, right? Everybody come on, don't lie. Everybody takes a look. It's clean. Toss it. Pull up my jeans, go back to class. Everything is great. Until the next day, right? I get to school the next day and I get a note while I'm in class. Now, if you're Portuguese or Azorean and you live in the Bay Area, when you get in trouble, you don't go down to the principal's office. No. Most times, the janitors are Portuguese. You don't go down to principal. These guys, you get called down to the janitor's office, right? And I'm like, oh no, not João, please, not João. I'm like, what have I done? At this point, I can't remember shit, right? Literally. I get called down there, right? I go into this guy's office. I walk in. It's the most Portuguese office ever. Benfica scarf on the wall, right? Any Benfiquistas? Sporting. Port. I'm sorry. Oh, and the girl who shattered cuecas too? I know why you've been shitting your cuecas. You go in there, Benfica scarf on the wall, you look at the desk, a bunch of pencils that look like they've been sharpened by a knife, right? Definitely a Portuguese guy. I sit down. He comes in, he sits across from me, right? He looks at me, he looks a little weird, he looks upset, he looks at me. And then he puts a brown bag on top of the table in front of us. A brown grocery bag, Safeway. And he looks at me, he crosses his legs. Now we're at school, guys, we're in elementary school. He pulls out a cigarette, right? It's the most Portuguese man in the world right here. Puts it up, lights it. I found your cuecas, Taylor. I'm like, what, João? What? And he goes, I found your cuecas. And I go, no. He reaches for the bag. He opens the bag. He pulls out a pair of freshly washed, folded cuecas. He puts them on the table in front of us. They're my cuecas. His wife washed them. She knows my mom. She washed them. And he looks at me, he turns the cuecas, flips the tag, and he says, I never knew a man who put another man's name on his cuecas. These cuecas, esas cuecas son tuas. It's okay, shit happens. Merda acontece, Taylor. I'm not gonna say nothing. Olha, hey, from this moment forward, olha, hey. Eu nunca mais diz nada. And I'm like, yeah, because Portuguese people are great at keeping secrets. And he's like, hey, I don't say nothing, okay? Never again? Hey, olha, take a little bit of this Queixo George home to your father, tell him I said hello. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm leaving here with freshly washed cuecas and Queixo George? I gotta shit my cuecas more often, right? I leave there, I go home. Well, here's the thing, man. For the next couple of years, I'm at that school still. He'll see me, he'll look at me and go, hey, Taylor, hey. He grabs his cuecas, he's like, hey. Don't say nothing, huh? He'd almost give up your secret every time he sees you in public. I don't say nothing. I'm like, oh my God. I started freaking out, man. I'm there hanging out on the street corner, a bus goes by, I think it's like, cuecas. Start getting paranoid because this guy's everywhere. Well, finally, I leave that school, but he gets promoted to the high school. So I'm there at the high school, João is still there. Every time I see him, he's like, hey, Taylor, hey, Amarante, hey, oh. Shh. I don't say nothing. My classmates were like, hey man, you better tell your parents, that guy's a pedophile, man. He's grabbing his underwear and he's pointing at you like, shh, what's up, man? All my white friends are like, what's going on, dude? Guy's like trying to marry you, bro. I'm like, no, man. He's like, you should tell your parents. I'm like, dude, they probably already know. Like, so finally, graduation day in high school comes, man. I'm up on stage. I'm grabbing my diploma. I grab it. There's my whole family cheering me on. I'm like, yeah. In the back corner, leaning against the wall with a mop in his hand, João. And he's like, hey, oh. Huh? Nunca esquece. Never forget, huh? Boa sorte. I'm like, you know what? So I look at him, I'm like, hey, all right, João. I graduate, I think, I'm never gonna see this man again. Right? 15 years later, I'm at the hospital visiting Maivo. Talking to Maivo. How you doing? All of a sudden, around the corner comes a man on a wheelchair. And I hear, oh. I look over, there he is on the wheelchair. Hey, oh. Shh. Hey, rapaz. I'm like, this fucking guy, man. But before I could say a word, a nurse comes around the corner, right behind him. She's like, hey, João, you smell kind of funny. It's time to change your diaper, João. And he looks up at me and I go, this is my moment. I'm like, hey, João, hey! Oh. He's like, no! He's getting wheeled away. He's like, no! He looks mad. And I won. He died several years later. And I won, right? I won. Wrong. I decide I'm going to João's funeral. I go to João's funeral, I'm paying my respects, right? We're past the, we're in church, we get past the Segundo Mistério, we're almost there. When the mass ends, I'm walking away at the cemetery, these two little boys come up to me. Hey, sir, they're pulling my shirt. I'm like, hey, how's it going, guys? They're like, oh, we're João's grandsons. I'm like, oh, that's great, how you guys doing? They're like, good, are you Taylor Amarante? We could tell by your eyebrows. I'm like, that's pretty good. Yeah, I'm Taylor Amarante. Well, our vote told us if we ever saw you to go, oh! João got me from beyond the grave, guys. He got me. The funny thing is, that's 90% a true story. 90%. Yeah, she's like, oh, good. Yeah, I'm not the only one. But the thing about João, we loved him, but João was an old school Portuguese guy. He was a little bit racist, right? Portuguese people, we have that little bit of something weird in us, right? Sometimes our older relatives don't get it. They say a couple of things here and there. He would always watch Portugal games, and he would come to me and be like, hey, yeah, Nani, epa, forte jogador. I'm like, yeah, he's a good player. He's like, yeah. I'm like, man, it's good. We've got like some of these players who've come from African colonies to play in the Portuguese team. And he'd be like, oh, Nani, ele não é preto, ele é português. I'd be like, what? What does that mean? I'm like, no, this guy's laughing nice. He's like, oh, yeah, I know what he's talking about. Don't tell nobody. But he would say that for these black players who played on Portuguese. They were Portuguese. It's so funny to me. It makes me think of like a story, a very, very relevant story. This is my last one of the night, where one time I tricked my avó into riding in an Uber with me, right? Now, everybody here, make some noise if you know what an Uber is. Okay. For those of you who don't know what an Uber is, and some of you might not, an Uber is when you summon a stranger to come and pick you up and take you somewhere, okay? Back in the days, it was like, don't ever get in cars with strangers. Now it's like, how many strangers can we call to pick us up and take us somewhere? But one day we're at a festa, and my avó wanted to leave that festa so bad. But we were all double parked. She wanted to go. She thought she left a light on at the house. You know how Portuguese grandmas are, or like the oven's open, it's gonna burn her house down. So I wanted to leave that night too, so I tell her, avó, hey, don't worry, avó, I'll get you a ride home. So I tell my family, don't worry, I got avó, I'll get us a ride home. I'm gonna call one of my friends. But I reach into my phone and I call an Uber, right? I'm like, my avó's not gonna know the difference. So I call an Uber, it shows me a picture of a guy, Michael. He's coming to pick us up. He'll be there in 3 minutes. So I tell my avó, don't worry, I have my friend picking us up. She's like, oh, what friend is it, Taylor? I go, it's Michael. She's like, oh, Michael, that's nice. And I'm like, yeah, avó. So Michael gets there. He's an Asian guy, right, Michael? We get in the car. My grandma opens the back door. She gets in. Hi, Michael. Because she thinks he's my friend, right? He's a total stranger. Michael's like, hi. I'm like, hey, what's up, man? He's like, hey. We sit in the back seat. So we're in an Uber. Me, my little vozinha. She's 5'1" with heels on. Literally, 5'1" with heels. She's probably 4'9". Literally, legally a dwarf. Poor thing. I eat Popeyes right off her head. That's a double meaning. Popeyes. Anyway, we get in the car. We ride for 10 minutes. And my avó turns to me and goes, Taylor, why we been in Michael's car 10 minutes? You don't say nothing to Michael. Your friend. He pick us up. You don't say nothing. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to tell my avó what we're doing here. So I tell her, I say, avó, here's what's going on. I explain to her what Uber is. She starts getting super tense, right? She's like, Taylor, we're in a car right now with estrangeiro? And I go, no, avó, that's Michael. She's like, no, it's chinês aqui? And I go, oh, a little while ago it was Michael, now he's chinês. She's like, why am I in this car? And avó has cash. Avó has cash, he's gonna steal my cash. Avó vive sozinha, he's gonna know where avó lives, Taylor. Say goodbye to avó. I'm like, avó, no, it's an Uber. Don't worry about it, you're fine. She's like, quê? I'm like, Uber. She's like, Ubers? I was like, yeah. She's like, what's Ubers? I'm like, avó, I try to tell her. She's like, no. This gentleman aqui, o chinês, gonna murder me. Good night. Tell everybody what happened. Ubers. And I'm like, avó, relax. Relax. Try a little bit of water. Have some water. There's always a water in the Uber. Have a water. Well, I'm calming her down. It's working out. But then suddenly, the Uber starts to pull over to the side. And I realize, I look at my phone, I accidentally called an Uber pool. Now, if you don't know what an Uber pool is, that's when that same car you're in is gonna pull over and pick up another stranger. And mais barato for everybody, right? You think my avó would like that? Save her a little, some troch. We pull over, she's like, what's happening? Isto não é a casa da avó. And I'm like, avó, we're picking up somebody else. All of a sudden, back door opens. It's me on the right, my avó next to me on the left. Black guy gets in the Uber. Closes the door. It's now o chinês in the front left. Me back right, avózinha in the middle, and this new black gentleman who just got into the car. Now listen, I'm not racist. I got a lot of black friends. I love them. Family that's black. But I don't know how many black friends my avó has. She's next to me, she's tensing up. All of a sudden, she takes her purse from this side, puts it like... Taylor, what's happening? Taylor, que é isto? O que é isto? I don't know this man. I don't know this man. I'm like, avó, relax. She's like, que é este preto? I'm like, avó, really? This guy now is o chinês, this guy's o preto? I was like, Barack Obama was a black guy, you liked him. He's like, mas Barack Obama estava no televisão. O Barack Obama não estava para mim. Hey! I'm like, avó, cool it, man. He's over there hanging out, he's quiet. O chinês is quiet. Things are getting weird in there. My avó is going off. She's talking so much shit about o chinês, o preto, in Portuguese. Nunca mais. Oh, Taylor, não acredito. Oh, look at this. He has holes in his jeans. She's telling me in Portuguese, he has holes in his jeans. I don't know this man with his elbows in my side. She's talking so much crap in Portuguese, right? We finally get to her house. I'm relieved, right? I'm like, man, she's been just dumping on this guy the whole time. We get to the house. We're gonna get out. I get out first. I open my door. My avó gets out. Right when she gets out, the black guy in the back leans over the seat, looks up at her and says, Boa noite, senhora. And my avó's like, she closes the door. She looks at me, she's like, eu pensava que ele era preto. And I go, avó, ele não é preto, ele é português, avó. Guys, that's all the time I have. Thank you so much. Enjoy the Portuguese kids. Cheers, guys. Thank you.